So now I'm going to discuss more to do with exploration to Mars. So recently, if you guys have followed, in the last few months, there have been two launches to Mars. The one is the Chinese mission, and another one was the new rover that NASA built to go to Mars. So that new rover is meant to do observations, right? Drive around, do observations. It has its own helicopter, essentially, like a drone. And it's also meant to do sample collections and a whole host of other experiments, and also sort of get ready for us to bring back samples from planet Mars. The Chinese one, no one really knows what is on there. They kept that a secret. So we will know when they both arrive in more or less March. No, Feb, March. It's about roughly 9 months to get to Mars and roughly 9 months back. So we will see when they get there. Just a few more months to go. So what we already have on Mars is a whole lot of rovers. What I have here is a Mars rover that a student did for their final year project. Just hold on. So as you can see here, everything has been designed to follow as though it was a Mars rover. We have sensors in the front to detect any objects. We have also, as they say, eyes to show optical eyes. We have the 6 wheels, as you can see here, all the 6 wheels. And as you can see, the design of the rover. So this is a very important design for obstacles. So if there's any obstacles, it does this, it does that. And so a student actually built that in about, how would I say, in a few months. So they had to design and then build. It actually worked. So those are one of the many cool things we've actually done in this lab, which is actually quite nice. And there's quite a few countries actually that have been to Mars, like China, USSR, USA, India. India was actually the first country to do it on their first try. That was a few years back. So there's a new player now to go to Mars. And ESA, of course. Each one has either launched a satellite or launched a probe to gather data about the Mars. So we've also done, now we're looking past Mars and we're looking at other planets. What have we sent? So first I'll start off from the sun and working my way upwards to the outer planets. So first, the sun, we have sun observers. We actually have satellites that observe the sun. So we know when coronal mass ejections occur, and we know when the sun is flaring up or when there's something wrong with the sun. We have that. Mercury, we actually have pictures of Mercury. It's been tough to get those pictures because it's so close to the sun, so you can imagine the heat and the materials that you have to sort of build, that we have to be heat proof to a certain extent, but we can take pictures from a certain distance away, quite clear pictures actually. Venus, the USSR actually landed something on Venus. So this picture here actually shows the Venus surface. So it actually went through the toxic clouds and it landed on the Venus surface. It only lasted for about 5 minutes due to the heat and the temperatures, but this is the clearest pictures that we have of the surface Venus. We have sent probes to study Saturn, Jupiter. We've actually sent something inside of Jupiter to study the atmospheric pressure. I think it didn't last quite long because the pressure really started building up and then we lost contact. Jupiter, okay, we sent probes for Saturn's rings. We sent stuff to Neptune, Uranus, Pluto. We've taken pictures. And we've also studied the moons of these other outer planets, so such as Titan. We've also tried to understand the Goldilocks zone. So what that means is at a certain distance away from any sun, there's a region where life might occur. So that's where we have the Earth. It's more or less in the middle of the Goldilocks zone. If you are too close, or if you're in the outer peripheries of the Goldilocks zone, you end up with Venus, where it's too hot. And if you on the outside of the periphery of the Goldilocks zone, you end up as Mars. So basically, we're all like sister planets with Mars and Venus of what the Earth could have been if we weren't in the position where we are.